revitalization steps of Yugur language with the community in China. I grew up in the community. I myself is a native speaker of Yugur. So I want just through the a case study, try to reflect to the whole other ethnic minority in China. Probably you know, in China we do have some dialects such as Cantonese, Shanghainese, Hokkien, but you probably some of you don't know we actually have lots of different ethnic minority languages. We actually have 56 officially recognized national minorities, it's not national minorities, plus Han Chinese, totally 56 ethnic group in China. And we have the pink region is Mongolian, and the blue region on the top left is Uyghur people and also Kazakh people and some other ethnic people. And at the red region is Tibetan people. Besides those three big ethnic minority groups, probably you heard about many times, we also have many other ethnic minority groups in China. And if you can see through at the bottom of the arrow, which is probably very hard to spot, is like a small blue dot, which are Uyghur people living there. And we also have many, at least 10 different language families. And Uyghur people are actually very interesting. We have Eastern Uyghur, who speak in Mongolic language, belong to Mongolic family. And we also have Western Yugur who speak Turkic language. And, but both think they are the same Yugur group. And this is traditional clothing of the top photo is my family. You can also spot me here and my husband. And this one at the bottom is the capital of the Yugur County. I will briefly talk about the history and the language policy and the ecology of Yugur. The ancestry of modern Yugur people can be traced back to the Tang Dynasty. Old Uyghur are the same ancestor of Uyghur people and also Yugur. We got a Uyghur person here, and but Yugur is still remain as a Tibetan Buddhist. In the past, we are traditionally nomadic people, move around the land, and then since 1950s, Mandarin has gradually become the dominant language in the Uyghur community, especially since schools and media use Mandarin as their only language. And in 1982, the Constitution of China states that the people of all nationalities have the freedom to use and develop their own language. However, it's a bit hard to implement because people pay less attention to ethnic minority languages. And also since 1990s, because of rapid economic growth and further urbanization, lots of people move to city or go to city to do work, and less speakers left in the community. But the good thing is that after mid of 2000, because of economic settling down, and the community members actually have more consciousness about to speak and use their own language. The current situation of the language is definitely decline, as many other ethnic minority groups in China, because lack of child speakers, also lack of young parents to speak the language to children. And another thing is, besides Chinese, learning English also is a compulsory course in China. And also some parents want children, best for children. They think probably learning Uyghur is useless for their children's future. And in this situation, both Eastern and Western Yugur are classified as critically endangered. Actually, also like many other languages also in ethnic minority languages also critically endangered in China. Now we'll talk about revitalization steps. Before talk about the community, I'll start with government efforts. So, early 2000, the government actually established a full-level protection system for intangible cultural heritage. So, on this list actually is some cultural items for Yugur culture. As you can see, we got 4 different levels. If it's listed in the national level, that means this kind of items are more important. Actually, governments pay more attention and give more policy support and also funding support. So language, as you can see, is listed in the provincial level and the county level, actually also recognized as a cultural item, but they probably just pay less attention to that. So this one at the left is Yugur traditional wedding, people wearing traditional clothing, and at the left, this old lady wearing dark green clothing, also sometimes singing traditional wedding folk songs. And this one is a offering, which is a type of classic offering for Tibetan Buddhists. Now we'll talk about school-based language maintenance. Actually, those school-based, school bilingual education mostly are community initiatives. We got some failure cases, especially in 1980s and also early 2000. But we also do have some successful cases, although we still have many problems. I will talk about in a moment. But the very good thing is, from last year, we eventually, the local government eventually agreed to recruit 5 Yugur teachers, and they can teach at higher grades and also distant township schools. So the main reason for failure of the school-based teaching is because of lack of teaching resources. Only in one kindergarten they established a small booklet for both Western Yugur and Eastern Yugur. Otherwise, we don't have any teaching resources, and the lack of trained teachers. Actually, many teachers before 2006, they are actually volunteers or math teachers, PE teachers from school, and then school just ask them to teach Yugur because they can speak Yugur. And also language as actual curriculum activity, especially FED one, is not compulsory attendance, and also lack of county government support. The success reason, obligatory attendance, and also parent support for kindergarten, but only in 2009, some parents actually, and also grandparents, come to school every week, once every week, and try to teach and integrate with the children. But they stopped after 1 semester because they just getting busy, and also they complain they don't get any pay from that. And one thing I'm going to talk a bit more later is we got very strong support from local community academics. I should mention before, Yugur are very small. We only have 40,000 people. In China, it's regarded as a really small ethnic group. We do have lots, not quite a few Yugur academics working in different university and different fields. So those people, plus some advocates and plus some school principals, try very hard, try to push all this thing happen, try to save the language, teach language in school. So I think in Yugur situation, it's kind of different as many other groups. It's definitely not like a top-down process, and I also don't think it's a grassroots like process. It's more like from a middle, like from organization. Probably you call this one also as a grassroots, but I think it's more like those people in this kind of organization, like school principal or some Yugur academics, some researchers, and also some advocates. They actually try to collaborate together, try very hard to push lots of things. For example, the quota for language teachers, they actually asked for many, many years and eventually got 5 language teachers, but it's not enough, but it's a good start. And we do have 2 government-based organizations that focus on like cultural stuff, also involving a little bit in language. And from 2014, the head of a high school, who is also a Yugur-speaking person, established Yugur Education Academy, and they actually is very active, and they doing a workshop for language teachers every year, sometimes even twice a year during the teaching break. And they also, it's more like a community-based because they're receiving donations mostly from charity, also from the community. And another thing I think it's really good is we also have a regional textbook, which actually, regional textbook is about talking about Yugur history, culture, custom, and geography, that kind of thing. But in 2008, we made it as a compulsory subject. And actually, as I noticed, also maybe not many, but some other ethnic minority groups in China also have this kind of thing. Though mostly probably like delivering in Chinese rather than other languages, but actually students have raised the awareness of being a Yugur, like more proud of being a Yugur as like my generation. Yes, if I go back to my community, talk to young generation now, they actually feel very proud. But I think like my time, when I go to other city, try to talk in Yugur, actually feel a bit more shame, talk your own language. Yeah. And another thing is we also working on online crowdsourcing trilingual dictionary, which is I'm involving and try to build with the IT students at NU. Of course, also get great support from Kodo, from the language department in NU. And some further suggestion for like my community. What we should do is we still want to raise our like awareness of local community people to use their own language, because though like after 2000, maybe last 10 years, lots of people have that kind of consciousness, but still some people still not too positive. Like we try to teach in school, but go back home, parents not teach, or grandparents not try hard to teach. So if possible, just through like TV publicity programs and pamphlets and posters on the street and the school, say how important is our own language, why we should keep our own language, why we should learn and teach our own language. And we still need government support and funds, especially we do have some local policy, but implement just very hard. We need like some more comprehensive policy, and also say like help the school and the community to implement the policy. And we also need we try to make some language programs, but because in China TV and radio stations belong to more like a government run kind of thing, so we actually do need like government supports for the language programs through TV and radio stations. And also, we got some language teachers, but they are not experienced language teachers. So if you go education academy want to send them to teachers, university to receive some training. But again, like a lack of funding, we need like government to give some fund to do that. And we at the moment we also written curriculum for different levels of students. I'm also involved in that. And again, like online and the online dictionary we're working on right now, we also thinking to do mobile app, different mobile app resources, because in China, actually more people using smartphones, especially in rural areas, than computers. So smartphone apps will be very helpful. And also some other sort, like learn from Australia and other community, immersion preschool and language nest, and also encourage parents to have a bilingual families. That means like, actually we thinking from a community actually give some, if it's like this language of bilingual families, they can bring up children very successfully can speak Mandarin and also can speak Yugur well. We can like give some awards, because people always like this kind of thing, awards. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So from this case, you might kind of know the situation in China. But again, it's like basically it's the government have some policy, but not enough support. More like a community and organizations' effort to revitalize the language. But we got so many different minority languages, and we got a larger one, small one, in different regions, probably just from region to region, different situation. So you can reflect from this case, but you can't just say, oh, whole China ethnic minority groups is like that. Okay, thank you.